guys, it's your boy Goten here, back with another story time video. Isn't that fun? I know I said I was gonna wait till like 115 or 120 subs, but I honestly enjoy telling stories. So I'm gonna tell you another one. This is the time I got robbed. What a great story. So this story is pretty all over the place, I'm not gonna lie. Telling it to the boys, like not during stream or anything, it's all over the place, and it requires a lot of context. It's pretty much, it was like fall of 2014 to March of 2015, our little timeline for this story. So my uncle, one of them, had just gotten out of, I can't remember if he had just gotten out of prison or he'd been out for a couple months. He needed a place to stay while he was trying to get back on his feet, which, fair enough. So my grandma decided to let him and his she-whore, as I call her now, and she will only be named as in this video, moved into our basement's honestly not terrible. Somebody could stay down there if they needed it. It's not like, it's not like a normal basement where you just dump shit down there. That's one of the rooms, but it's two rooms. One is more of a guest room. That's kind of our guest room. So that's your context for that. But essentially, they stayed down there, and a couple months after they got there, this is probably just after Christmas, money started to disappear from my mom's and grandma's purses when they were like in the shower or something, away from the purse. And me and my mom knew immediately it was the she-whore and my uncle, or at least the she-whore, because my uncle was trying to get back on his feet while she-whore really wasn't doing much. My uncle had gotten a job for a construction company at this point, and was trying to get back on his feet, which is commendable. Trying to give himself his own place, that's a commendable thing. But she, also on this little timeline before we get to the big event in March, I had gotten a lock on my door to ensure, pretty shitty lock, I'm not gonna lie. Pretty much the way it was like on a latch connected to my door, which kept it shut. But if you kicked in the door, which is what happened, spoiler, it just breaks the lock. But I had it locked whenever I was at school or anything. So yeah, we'll go back a little bit though. We found a needle at one point because they're drugs, they're good old druggies, or at the very least, at the time, she-whore was. So we found that at the house, and we've been trying to convince my grandma, who has the deed to the house. We can't really kick somebody out without her, siding with us, to kick them out, or at least the she-whore, because we knew she wouldn't kick her own son out. She's far too nice for her sons. They're never in the wrong for her, and most of the time they are. But it's her kids. That's the thing. That's just like your motherly love instinct to always assume and defend them. That's fair. But essentially, March happened. It was a Friday. I remember they were about to move out that day, and essentially, I got all my stuff still on. At the time, I had an Xbox 360 and an Xbox One, and I think a 3DS. This was, I think, 6th grade. I brought my 3DS to school to play on it, like lunch and stuff. So I had that with me. I came home. I remember that Friday. They had moved out. I had sat down on the couch for a couple minutes because it was a pretty long Friday. It happens sometimes. At least it felt like a pretty long Friday. I go to unlock my door. Notice the latch is like completely broken off the door. I know immediately what happened. Me being the pipsqueak 6th grader that I was, I just started bawling and yelling for my mom, who had gone downstairs to put laundry in because she had it down there ready to put it in as soon as she got home. She comes running up. We both go in my room. Both Xboxes are gone. All my games are gone. I can't remember if they stole my controllers or not. I think they stole my rechargeable packs that were just charging, but not the controllers. The druggies must have not saw value in it. Essentially what had happened was, she-whore was with another guy, go figure, and he had essentially kicked open the door, and they had stolen everything from my room. So that's pretty fucking dope. We spent that entire day looking for stuff. They also stole my grandma's like old coins and stuff, her little collection she was starting with, like $1 coins and $2 bills and stuff like that, old currency. We found that in a pawn shop, but they were selling it for like $30, the whole collection. So she never got that back, unfortunately, because pawn shops are terrible. People there are terrible people most of the time. I've been to like one decent pawn shop with decent people. There's plenty around my hometown and across the river. So yeah, we never found any of my stuff. They must have sold it probably the GameStop, for being realistic, and probably got like $50 out of the entire collection. It was probably 200 games and a 360 and an Xbox One. This was like 2015, so Xbox Ones were kind of whatever. I think that either that year or the year after the S came out. So I mean, there's that. So luckily 360s were like $100, so we bought another 360, so I had something to do and it would stop bawling my eyes out. Which, keep in mind, I know my uncle wasn't at least part of this because he had came up with my grandma, because the construction company he works at is also owned by the same people that my grandma worked for at the time. So that's how he is able to get the gig, which is fine. But yeah, so essentially he wasn't a part of it. At the very least, he came home to see me bawling my eyes out because I was a little pipsqueak 6th grader. And yeah, that's the story of how I was robbed. I eventually got another Xbox One, and I think it was a year after the S came out, I got that. That was my early Christmas gift that year, though, so I didn't get much for Christmas, which is fine because it's an Xbox One S. That was cool. I still have that. I'm looking at it. It's the same S. My Xbox One I basically gave to my cousin when he moved in, essentially, because he didn't have one. His 360 that he played on before that at his house was pretty much destroyed at that point. So, but that's none of my business. That's just what I know. So I let him just play on my Xbox One. Since I had the S, I didn't really need the Xbox One. I think it's probably worth like $20 now, if I'm being honest. So, there's that. I still have that 360 I bought back then too. I'm staring at it. It's next to my Xbox One S. In case I ever want to play games that aren't backwards compatible yet. But yeah, that's the story of how I was essentially robbed, and we were robbed of a lot of money and other stuff. Yeah, a couple months later, my mom never pressed charges for my stuff because she's probably too fucking lazy to do so. So she just said she couldn't because the cops were being assholes. That's what her excuse to me was. But yeah, they went to jail a couple months later, and then my uncle got it like over a year and a half later. The chick got out eventually, a she-whore, and wanted to apologize in court. I didn't show up. I had no fucking intention on even accepting that offer. I will never forgive that stupid whore. And that was, 5 years ago now, so it is what it is. But yeah, that's that story. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I have a couple more stories off the top of my head I could tell if you guys are enjoying story times. I also got some, gaming videos I'll also get in, of course. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the, more content as well, almost daily. Since, the boomer doomer has gotten me off school, possibly for the rest of the year. So it is what it is. But yeah, I guess I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.